Hi friends, welcome back to another Somatic Coaching Coffee Chat with me, Sophie Ray. I have my coffee with my cats on. Not my cats, just cats, but they're mine, it's my mug. Anyway, grab your beverage of choice and yeah, let's get into today's video. So today I wanted to talk about confidence and intuition, and how a daily practice, a somatic practice, and that can be, when I say somatic practice, that can be yoga, it can be, movement, any movement where you are focusing internally. It can be grounding practices, going for a daily walk or a walk in the morning, and orienting into your space and orienting into safety. So it's these, this daily practice of connecting with yourself, wherever you are at, acknowledging whatever is going on for you, rather than just coming to your yoga mat or coming to your space or your practice when things feel really shit. And we have to take into the context of our life, and we have to take into what we've got going on, and whether we've got children and and responsibilities. If you do have lots of responsibilities, if you do have children, this can be a practice that they start doing. If they see you doing it, they will do it too. And how great would that be to really instill this daily practice? I mean, depending on how old they are, but you can teach them from a young age to take a second, a couple of minutes to feel their feet on the ground. Kids are naturals at that. If they see you doing it, they'll want to join in. But again, really does depend on your kids and your family dynamic. And I don't have children, so yeah, I can't really comment on that. But that daily connection, that daily practice is what helps to build up your confidence and your intuition of, what do I need? How can I take care of myself? So we're setting the foundation and showing up no matter what's going on, showing up when things are really shit, showing up when things are great, and going, okay, so how am I today? Yeah, what's going on for me? And what do I need? How can I look after myself? So it's building up that understanding of yourself, building up more awareness, and this is really important, really listening to what your body is saying. That can be really hard to start with, but if you're not listening, if you're not checking in, and if you're not acknowledging what you need, your intuition is just covered up with, whatever stresses and pressures and, life stuff is going on. And that is then really hard to that kind of dampens your confidence and dampens your feeling of worthiness. And, if we're putting ourselves last all the time, we're saying, I don't matter. That is the attitude of, I don't matter. Everybody else's needs matter and mine don't. So acknowledging what you need, acknowledging what your body is saying, and this is really important if you are feeling really run down, if you're really ill, if your body is saying, we're tired, we're exhausted, we are stressed, we are XYZ. And then if you're not listening to that, it's really then hard to feel good in yourself. So it was a couple of weeks ago, week 5, we did of the Embody Your Joy group coaching programme, and we did a practice inner critic meditation, and then we did some intuitive art, and it was an art practice for confidence and intuition. Excuse me, my coffee is just giving me hiccups. So yeah, so we did this confidence and intuition practice, and I'd asked people at the start, how are you feeling about this? And some people weren't feeling too hot about their artistic abilities, and they were feeling quite nervous about it, and that's completely normal. Lots of people who come to my workshops feel the same way. And we did this practice of just warming up and doing some observational drawing of an object that brings us joy, and keeping it really loose, just really playful. It's like, what's going to come out if we're not looking at the paper and we're just looking at our object and taking in all of the beautiful nuances of our object. I don't know if that's the right word, but if we're just focusing on our object and then trying to draw that and not looking at the paper, yes, what comes out is not really what the object looked like, but that's fine. That's not the goal. The goal is this, is the expression of, what is this of this object, and it can help to boost your memory and boost your creativity and your imagination, because we're not focusing so much on getting it right. We're just focusing on, what does this object look like, and what are all these little bits that I can get on the paper. So after that, some of the people that had that were worried about their artistic abilities, they were really surprised. They were like, I'm really we did just a practice after the inner critic meditation of letting the inner critic kind of help us and lead the way with the artwork, and that's a great one to do with the inner child as well, of let's just make some shapes and colors, and that is building up your intuition, because it doesn't have to look like anything, it doesn't have to be anything, it's just for fun, and it's you expressing yourself without expectation, without going, this is wrong or this doesn't look like anything. It is just what it is, and that's coming from you. So when we can allow ourselves to do that, and when we can, even in a daily practice of showing up, even when things feel rubbish, that can really enhance our intuition, our connection to our inner knowing of, okay, yes, something feels a little off today, or I'm feeling quite run down today. And what do I need? What do I need to do to support myself through that? So when we when we have that attitude of I don't matter, or I'm going to put everybody else's needs first, this stops us from listening to our own bodies and to our own intuition and our own needs. When something is wrong, we ignore it. And no wonder our confidence is low. No wonder our feeling of our self-worth is low. And I'm going to do another video on the 4 core wounds of the inner child, and one of them is I'm not worthy. And we're repeating that pattern as adults and saying we're not worthy, we're not worthy. And the more we do that, and the more we ignore ourselves, the more we, our confidence lessens, our feeling of worthiness lessens. I don't deserve this, everybody else deserves to be happy and I don't. And we are told to give and give and give and work and work and work, or again, we have to think in the context. If you've got somebody in your life who is ill and you are taking care of them, that is a beautiful thing to do. And it's not about not taking care of them and completely ignoring them, because I think the other narrative is that it's selfish to take care of yourself. But if you're not taking care of yourself and you're trying to take care of somebody else who is really unwell, if you're not looking after yourself, how are you going to show up for them? How are you going to support them? And this work of a daily practice, a daily connection to yourself, grounding yourself, checking in, asking, what do I need? What do I really need? And then doing something about it is so empowering. And this work is so worth it because you recognize your own worth. And then you have more capacity for others. And it won't completely ruin you. So it's not about ignoring everybody else and just thinking about yourself. It is about thinking, you know, we're all here. We're all individuals, but then we are a collective as well. And you know, I think nowadays there is that very individualistic feeling. You know, we all live in our own houses. We're all, you know, we can shut off from each other, and you know, we see it on social media all the time, just people arguing with each other. I went off on a little tangent then, but so I think just kind of bringing it back. Yeah, it's it doesn't have to be much, and it doesn't have to be an hour in the morning. And you know, but realistically, what time do you have in the morning to move a little, you know, to just gently move your body with a little bit of care and attention? And it might be getting out of, as you get out of bed, and do a gentle stretch, opening up spaces that feel a little bit tight and a little bit tense, and just seeing, okay, so how am I physically, how am I energy level wise, how am I mentally today? And asking, yeah, you know, if there was one word to describe how I am, what would that word be? And what do I need? What do I need? And noticing what comes through. And there might be some little, you know, quite often we get that like, you know, it might be a memory or a thought, it might be a feeling, and it's that, you know, it might, you know, we do it when we're thirsty. It's like, oh, well, you know, even basic needs can be completely, you know, we can be cut off from them if, depending on how long we've gone without listening to ourselves, we can be cut off from those basic needs of, I just need some water. A glass of water would feel great right now, or a snack. So yeah, we've got to obviously starting with where you're at. And if it is, oh, I need some water, drink some water. And that's all it has to be. It's actually taking that action step. This is how I am. This is what I need. And how can I meet that need? Some things will be trickier. Some things will take boundaries. And I've got a video on setting clear boundaries, because when we actually start taking care of ourselves, we have to say no to things. We have to say no to other people. And that can be really difficult. The more we do this, the more we say, I'm meeting my needs, the more our confidence grows. Our confidence in saying no and setting boundaries and taking that time to actually check in. Our intuition grows. It gets clearer. What we need gets clearer, so we don't have to, you know, it doesn't feel like quite so, you know, like resistant, I guess. So, yes, what would work for you? What would that daily check-in look like? What would that daily connection look like? A little bit of movement, Some deeper breaths, grounding through your feet. You can do it in bed as soon as you wake up. You can take yourself to another space. You can do it in the shower. And remembering that, if you are trying to build up, if your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence is low, starting with these practices is helpful. That's what starts to change things, in my experience. And from working with people and, from just understanding, we've got to make that connection with ourselves first and help our, and kind of reset or stabilize our nervous system. Our nervous system needs to be supported and worked through, to feel stable in ourselves. Anyway, I want to end this because I don't want this to be really long. It's already gone over. I was trying to challenge myself to do 10 minutes. Yeah, a work in progress. We're all a work in progress and we are all beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Sending lots of love and see you soon. Bye. Let me know how this resonates. Drop me a comment. Bye.